I'm Peter Meredith, and welcome to the Writer's Review. Today we are taking a closer look at The Mandalorian Episode 6, with the burning question being, is Baby Yoda a central character, or just carry-on luggage? I think it was obvious that I struggled to find anything appealing about the last episode, so it was to my great delight that this episode starts off with a really cool visual. Look at that. Even with the Razor Crest being little more than a space minivan, it's awesome. Unfortunately, the episode pretty much goes straight downhill from here. Mando is there to meet Space Santa. I mean, evil Space Santa. Just a warning, everyone is evil in this episode, and not slick, insidious evil, or terrifying, imposing evil, or even scrotum-faced evil. No, they're all cartoon evil. And to make sure you don't forget, they lay it on thick with the stupid evil laugh. Come on, give me an evil laugh.
No.
Lil? It turns out that evil Space Santa has an evil job, and does he want to hire one of the deadliest men in the galaxy for it? No, he wants the crappy old Razor Crest. Is it because it's the fastest ship in the galaxy? No. Is it because it can outfight any ship in its class? No, not even close. Supposedly, it's one of the few ships left that has never been boarded by Imperials, so no one really knows it. And here I thought every bounty hunter in the galaxy had an eye out for it. Hell, even this 2-bit bad guy way out in the middle of nowhere has heard about Mando's troubles, which means the government probably knows too. The real reason they need the Razor Crest is because they need Baby Yoda in the show. They can't keep finding unlikely babysitters, and they can't leave him behind like they did in the last episode. They'd lose half their audience if they did, so they make up this bull. The episode can be summed up in one sentence. Mando stupidly takes a job with clearly evil people who will no doubt screw him over, and they do. Notice I didn't mention anything about character growth or multi-layered plots or anything close to storyline progression. That's because the writers didn't bother with any of that. We are 6 episodes in, and all we know about Mando is that he's an orphan who likes to kill people. So evil Santa introduces us to the rest of the gang, all of whom are two-dimensional, and so disappointingly two-dimensional that it feels like this show was written by a high schooler. First there's Uga Uga. I actually didn't catch his name, but it really doesn't matter. He's big and strong and evil, and that's his character. What more do you need to know about him? Nothing, apparently, because the writers don't add a thing. Then there's a Harley Quinn knockoff. She's evil and throws knives. You'd think she'd use those vibro knives because they kill everything, but you'd be wrong. She's an annoying character who makes up for it by overacting in every scene. Oh, and she used to be Mando's girlfriend, which I guess is something new about Mando we didn't know before. He has terrible taste in women. The only question I have is, did he take off his helmet when he knocked Space Boots, or...
Your helmet is so big.
Lord helmet, what?
Oh, there's also a droid.
Are they ill-tempered?
Worse, it's evil. Why? What purpose does evil in a droid serve? Really, Star Wars, you don't do droids well at all. R2-D2 was perfectly done, and the beach ball in the last 3 movies was okay, but the rest? Come on. How and why did little boy Anakin build C-3PO to be such a twit? What frame of reference would this 7-year-old have? And why a protocol droid when his mom is a slave? And why have a droid that wants to free other droids? And stupid droids are just dumb. Here, try this. Stop giving droids personalities. R2-D2 serves Luke as best as he can and worries for him. That's all he did, and that was enough. All right, I'm getting off course here. Finally, we get to evil Bill Burr.
There is no reason to hit a woman. And I was just like, really?
Maybe I should just call him Bill Burr, since he's not really making a stretch here. As evil people are wont to do, they are mean to Mando for no reason. They put him down with stupid jokes, including this completely original line by Uga Uga. I thought he'd be bigger.
I thought you'd be bigger.
I thought he'd be taller.
I thought you'd be taller.
I know it seems like I'm nitpicking, but this episode is full of stupid lines. At one point, evil Santa says that he and Mando used to do jobs when they were young. When they were young. Look at this guy. Are we supposed to believe that Mando is 55 and all gray and withered beneath his helmet? No. So why the line? Why pretend they go way, way back to the good old days? Why not just say Mando was coming up through the ranks back when evil Santa was pulling his last few jobs? How tough was that? It took me a second to think of that line. After all the useless banter, we get to the job they are supposed to pull, freeing a high-value prisoner from a penal ship. So how does Mando's ship help in this? Just because a ship's never been boarded by Imperialists doesn't mean they'll let it get close to a heavily guarded penal ship.
Silence!
I know, Baby Yoda has to be in the show somehow. Speaking of the only reason I still watch the show, he finally gets seen as Ooga Ooga cracks Mando's super secret door code. Bill Burr cracks a few jokes, some of which are okay, and Mando and Ooga Ooga tussle, and then completely without warning, they're at the penal ship. This is Exhibit A, why you don't program a droid for evil. Now the evil droid slips the Razor Crest into the blind spot of the penal ship, which just happens to be the entire top of it, and lands right on a hatch. Blind spot, right on a hatch. That is so stupid. It's one thing when the Millennium Falcon hides on a Star Destroyer the size of Manhattan, but the penal ship is relatively small and it's designed to transport high-value prisoners. It's not going to have a blind spot, let alone one right above a fucking hatch. Quick question, were the writers stoned when they wrote this? So the hatch opens with surprising ease, and through the power of poor writing, the evil droid is able to take over the ship's security without anyone knowing. Well, it takes it over a little. I think it takes over the camera system since they run around without being detected, and later it redirects some of the droids away from them. Of course, that's only after it lets 5 droids walk right up on the group. I know you think that makes no sense at all. You might even be saying, that's stupid, but you would be right. The writers needed action, so they just pretended the droid was busy or something. So Mando kills all the droids in the most difficult way possible. He could have just shot them in the back in about 4 seconds with his can't-miss blaster, but we have to see all his tricks once again. The fire, the little hook thing, the vibro knife, blah blah blah. He kills them and they go on looking for the bridge because it's only there that they can find out in which cell the prisoner is being kept. So the droid can hack into a state-of-the-art security system, but it can't download a seating chart. So they go to the bridge.
Es estúpido.
They make it to the bridge, and surprise, there's a human there. The others want to kill him, but Mando says no, killing is wrong.
There are things I will not tolerate. Students loitering on campus after school. Horrible murders with hearts being removed. And also smoking.
Since when does he think killing is wrong? He kills people left and right. He hasn't gone 8 minutes this entire season without killing someone. But now it's wrong. He also threatens to kill Bill Burr if Bill kills the other guy, which makes no sense. Then Ooga Ooga threatens him. Thankfully, knockoff Harley kills the guy before I have an aneurysm. But before he dies, he sets off a distress/homing beacon. A what? That's the way the people on board signal there's an attack, a handheld beeper. There's no automatic alarm system. There's no Siri. Siri, we're under attack. Do something. A handheld beeper is just not a thing used in these situations. Do they have them in banks or in prisons or on ships? No. And does a distress/homing beacon make any sense? Maybe just the distress signal part, but the homing beacon? Are you saying that without it, no one would be able to find the ship in case there's trouble? It sounds far-fetched, and when something is far-fetched in this show, it just means the writers were too stoned to get from point A to point B, and were like, dude, bruh, it can have like a tracking feature, you know? So, although the evil droid couldn't find one prisoner out of 100, it somehow knows when ships on the other side of the galaxy are about to jump through hyperspace towards them. Now, they only have 20 minutes left. Strangely, it's at this point that things slow down and everyone saunters about. They find the prisoner, and it's some guy who hates Mando, and who just happens to be the brother of the Harley Quinn knockoff. So, Harley had a reason to hate Mando enough to kill him, and he doesn't expect trouble? Okay. The evil gang locks him in a cell. With Mando out of the way and attack ships racing in, you'd think that the evil gang would hurry back to the Razor Crest. But they move so slowly that before they can make it the 200 feet to the ship, Mando manages to escape the cell and runs to the bridge where, in seconds, he overrides the evil droid's override and takes over the ship's security system. Really? Hacking into a system that's already been hacked is that simple? Is there a insta-hack button on the keyboard? I just ask because it seems relatively complicated and probably would take hours. And what's to stop the droid from re-hacking the same system? Nothing as far as I can tell, but the droid doesn't bother trying. The writers once more need action to take place and couldn't bother with glaring logical inconsistencies. But at least we get some action. Mando separates the group into two, which is smart, but then they voluntarily separate again so that everyone is slowly walking about on their own. Mando stalks them, and it's pretty cool in parts and outrageously stupid in others. Like, why doesn't he ever use his can't-miss blaster? None of them are in armor, and none are all that quick. Is it because we need to see Mando use the same old gimmicks? Why, yes. I think the writers are afraid that they made his armor too unstoppable and his blaster too can't-missable. If he wanted, he could mow right through them, and where's the fun in that? So they make him stupid instead. With fighters bearing down, he takes his time, and yes, there are some cool scenes in there, but as always, there's no tension. There's no tension even when they try to force feed it to us. For some unknown reason, the evil droid starts to hunt Baby Yoda. It's bad enough that the droid isn't re-hacking the security system, but it isn't even rushing out to help its friends as they're getting massacred. And why does it want to kill Baby Yoda when it's harmless, trapped on the ship, and that there might be a bigger reward if it's taken alive? And why does it take so long? The Razor Crest is not a big ship, and there's a time crunch here, but it slowly peaks around every little corner. While this is going on, Mando kills everyone and captures the prisoner who demands to be taken back to Evil Santa. And Mando has to because that's Mando's code. I'm glad he understands the code because I still don't have a clue what it's about. Either way, we cut back to Baby Yoda in peril at the end of an episode for the 5th time in 6 episodes. And this time, I was really scared for him.
How long do you need to stare at the camera for that one?
Until you cracked up. Actually, it was kind of cute. They did this part really well, even though the setup was terrible. They did this part really well with little Baby Yoda with the Force thing. That part was cute. Then Mando kills the droid in the exact same manner that the bounty hunter was killed in episode 4, and how the assassin was killed in episode 5. 3 straight episodes with the same scene. Please hire better writers. Please, you can't keep doing this over and over again. So they fly off, right past anti-aircraft guns. Why would they put those guns in the ship's blind spot? Please, someone tell me. Mando jumps through hyperspace and returns the prisoner to Evil Santa, his best friend and teammate for 30 years. The second Mando leaves, Evil Santa says, "Kill him." I guess he really is evil. But Mando has pulled a double cross by planting the distress/homing beacon on the prisoner. Time, distance, and hyperspace be damned as 3 X-Wings show up. So instead of going to the penal ship, which is under attack, they show up here. And why did it take them 20 minutes to get to the penal ship, but only 2 minutes to... Never mind, I'm tired of the stupidity. The 3 X-Wings pass Mando and they see another ship is about to be launched. So they blow up the space station and kill everyone on board. Isn't that fun? For all they know, the lone human guard from the penal ship could be on that station. Or 1,000 refugees. Or a senator from Naboo. Who cares? Not Mando and not the writers. They wanted this ending and so they twisted themselves into knots to get it. That wraps up the episode, and watching it this second time really underscored just how poor the writing was. The overall story arc wasn't advanced an inch, and the characters remain just as empty as when we first met them 6 episodes ago. Baby Yoda is green and cute and adorable. Mando is a killer. His sudden reluctance over murdering people doesn't last, and he's back to slaughtering people in the next episode. Sadly, like the last 2 episodes, this one was just filler. Of course, even filler episodes can be used to help the viewer get a deeper understanding of the protagonists, or what's happening in the world as a whole, but that would take writers who know what they're doing. Just think what a goldmine of an idea this show is. Now think how good it could be with actual writers in charge. I'm rating this one a dismal 67. I rolled my eyes so much in this episode that I was dizzy for the rest of the night. And as much as I want to say the acting was crap, look at what they had to work with.
I thought they'd be bigger.
Shakespeare would be so proud. Now, I don't like to brag,
Who am I kidding? I love to brag.
but The Apocalypse has over 6,000 five-star reviews, and at 99 cents, that's a steal in anyone's book. The Apocalypse, The Undead World, Novel 1. Greed, terrorism, and simple bad luck conspire to bring mankind to its knees as a viral infection spreads out of control, reducing those infected to undead horrors that feed upon the rest. It's a time of misery and death for most. However, there are some who are lucky, some who are ruthless, and some who are just too damn tough to go down without a fight. This is their story. Merry Christmas.